Right, so back on the carburettors off the Streetfighter. As you can see, I've done these three already. Give them a good clean out, made sure everything was clean, clean the jets, so it's all ready to put back together. A couple of things I have found. It looks as if the engine is out of a 750L, which is a later model like I've got. It has got 38mm carbs, whereas the 88 model would have had 36s, and the engine is a 749cc stamped on the bottom of the block, and again that is the L model. The 748 was the 88-89 model. So I just happen to have a spare carburettor kit because I've got two 750Ms anyway, so I had a spare carburettor kit, so I've sorted out the bits I need. These are the old bits off the other three carbs. So I've changed the seal, the valve and seat, needle valve and seat, and O-rings, so as to at least get this working. I haven't gone too mad with it. I'm not going to stick it in an ultrasonic bath as yet until I know that the bike will run. So I'll put these back together first. What I'll do is put this collar back on top there. Then this is the main jet. What I tend to do with these, some wire, just run it through. It's only copper wire, it's not going to do any damage. You can get needles to clean them out. You can see it's the main jet. I have looked at the sizes of the main jet. These seems quite big, the main jets. If my eyesight serves me correctly, it says 144, which is quite a good size. So anyway, like I said, I don't know what's been done with the bike, so I'm just going to leave it as it is. So this is the main jet. Put it back in the top. Always running with your fingers first. It's only brass. It's not gonna, you're gonna chew it up if you start forcing it. Run in. Like I said before, yeah, various assortment sizes. If you start using the wrong size screwdriver for the screws, then you are going to chew them up and you're going to wreck them. So the bigger one for the main jet, run it in. Once it's there, snip it up. Right, that's tight enough. It doesn't have to be mad. We don't want it coming off, but we don't want it stripped either. So this is the smaller jet, the pilot jet that goes down the side. Again, we can get our wire. It has got the small hole this side. So pull that through there, so we can see that it goes through. It's not blocked or anything. So okay, drop that back in there again. Next screwdriver down, slightly smaller one. Get that onto there. Run it down nicely. Once it's down, make sure the screwdriver's sitting nice, and then just nip it. That's it. Okay, so on this is the old seat and needle valve. Take them out, might as well change them. I've got new ones anyway, so I'm going to change them. And this seal obviously is all wrecked, so we'll change that. So what I need to do is get that seal onto there. So that seal will sit on there to seal that. Then need to get the needle valve onto that metal bit there. If we get a little screwdriver and just put it inside there, drop that in, and then get it onto there. So that now is sitting on there. Okay, so that's ready. Just leave that there. And this is the new seal. As you can see, the old one, yeah, and that just slots in and out too easy. So this seal now will seal inside here. So we push that down. Get that seated in there. So that's seated in there. Now what we can do, we need to get that needle valve into the seat, and also this seal will sit inside here. One thing we can check before we do that, again we can use our bit of wire where the small seal sits, and by here there is a hole that goes down through the bottom, and I don't know whether you can see that, but it passes down into the where the float chamber is, so that's not blocked up, because if the seal's been chewed up it could block that up. Okay, and that's where this seal is going to go. So get that in there. Right. Okay. Pushes down in there. And then that will sit in there, and that holds it all in place. What we need to do is change this seal, this gasket. Make sure it's all clean inside, and then we can put the new gasket on. These two pegs here on this side there, they go against here and they hold that all in place there, so that holds all the float assembly together and in place. So just last check inside, everything alright. I haven't done the float height, there's things that I haven't done, but as I said, just want to get it running at the moment and make sure the engine's okay, and then I don't mind spending more time on and getting everything else right. Screw them down. Hold it down while you tighten them down. Don't tighten up one side then the other. If you pull them down evenly, it just pulls the ball on evenly. So them are the 4 lots that we've changed. I have got some more bits in the kit if I do ever need them. As I said earlier, there are 2 jets here. Now these go inside here. I've had these out and I've cleaned them, so these are all alright. I just left these out. There's 2, I've gone each side there so that I know which side they're on. Again, we can just, yeah, now these are for the air, so these little pilot jets, so that one is for this side, and then this one, yeah, it's all clear. We need them clear so that the air can pass through. And one's for slow running and one's for when is the main one, that when the speed has picked up. So again, find the correct screwdriver, one that will fit, otherwise you'll break the brass screws. So there's one that fits in there nicely. Run it down. There, I can feel it getting to the bottom, so I just nip it. That's enough, it's not going anywhere. Again, run that one in. Get to the bottom, and again, nip that up. Right, the other screws that I have had out, but I'm not changing them, are these. They call them pilot screws, I call them mixture screws here. These are the ones that are set. So, depending on which model it is, they vary from 1 1/8 turn to 1 1/2 turn. Some are 2 turns, depending on what models. So, like I say, I've had these out. I'll just take the one out on the end, so that you can see. What I always do, run it in, half, 1, right, that's probably about 1 1/4. So again, now I know it was screwed out 1 1/4, that's where I'm going to put it back to. But I'll take this one out just to show, just in case you haven't seen this before. Like I say, I've had the others out, I've checked them, cleaned them, put them back. Right. Okay, so you can see there, that's the actual pilot screw. Got a taper on the end that goes into a hole at the bottom, and depending on how far it goes down, it opens and closes to allow the air and fuel through. Got a spring on it. So you've got the spring. You've also got a washer. Flat washer goes on underneath that. Now, it doesn't always come out together like that. Quite often that flat washer will stick in the bottom. But what I'll show you as well, there is a seal in there as well, so we need to get that seal out. Just have a look at it. Now, depending on right, just tip it up. Yep, there it is. Right, so there's your little seal, and that goes on the end of there. So you've got the seal, little flat washer, the spring, and that goes down inside there. And then when you tighten it down, it goes against the spring, and like I say, you wind it down to the bottom and then bring it back up, whatever setting it is. So that's what I'm going to do. So we'll put them back in. So just carefully drop that in. You do need to make a check on the actual pointed parts. Sometimes these can break off. People over tightening them and that getting stuck down there. So just make sure that taper is nice. So what I'll do now is run that all the way in. Right, so that's about where it was. So half, 1, and then back that 1/4. And I know it was at the same angle as that one was. So I've turned it back to where it was. So it is important that we do need, because possibly will need resetting at some point. So that's cleaning out the bottoms, new needle valve and seat, new gaskets, new seals. So that's the bottom end done, and we've checked the pilot screws, the mixture screws, and make sure that they're sealed properly. Okay, so if I turn this over, so what I'm going to do is take the caps off, and we're just going to check the diaphragms. Now, been off before. The two outer ones have got Allen key screws, and the inner ones have got the original posi drive. So probably because they were tight and they've stripped or whatever else. Right, there's a spring under here, so I'm just holding that down. Okay, always remember which way they go. You've got this pipe here. You will see underneath anyway, but we'll take that off. Turn it upside down. There's a seal here that lines up with that, so you know exactly. There's a spring, plastic piece on there. That's just sit against the needle and diaphragm. So actually it looks pretty good. There's no splits, it's not dried, it's not cracking. Yeah, so it does look pretty good. This will only go in one way, as you can see from the shape of it, so no worry there. If we turn it upside down, that needle is going to fall out. So I'll take it out. Look at that. And then you can see we can adjust this up and down. And we're on the 1, 2, on the third groove. So that's sitting there on that groove. Just feel the needle. Yeah, there's no sharp ridges or anything, so it's quite smooth, it's quite neat. So that's okay. Drop it back down in there so as it stays in place. Right, so that's there. So then we can look in here. It's a bit dry, probably needs cleaning up a bit, but I haven't got any worries with that. Like I say, that's what we'll check. The diaphragm's alright, everything else looks fine, the needle's fine. So what I'll do is I'll check the other three, make sure they're all cleaned up and everything's alright, and then we'll get it on the bike and see what we can do.